Hopefully it's
Yeah,
not
that
an
happened.
earache, man. Oh, anyhow, that's a good way to start the show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. He's Jack. Say hello, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, my fucking left ear hurts. I hope I'm not getting an ear infection.
Huh?
Huh?
What?
How you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm okay. Kind of tired. A little bitchy, you know.
I'm actually pretty good. My ear didn't start hurting until I put on the headphone. Yesterday, my meds were not working, and today they're like, we'll do our job today. So I've actually had a decent day.
Oh, good. Nice.
Yeah, not too bad. On the other hand, I did, spend time on Twitter. So, I wake up and I see a tweet from Shoe on Head. I guess we should get this out of the way. Go ahead and get this out of the way because yesterday we did a pretty long segment on one of Shoe on Head's videos, and we did not watch any of the video. I didn't play any of it. I put up a tweet that was in the video that was from Bausch because it was really the kickoff point of most of what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like we misrepresented Shoe at all. If anybody's watched the video and you think I'm wrong, please let me know. And I asked her, hey, if you think I misrepresented you, let me know. But I don't just generally play videos to play videos. One, we know how long it takes me to get through a video to begin with. I tend to only play videos if there's something in it that I want to highlight. I don't just play an entire video so we have runtime. I guess I should start doing that. It works for other people.
That seems to work for some big players.
We'll just play their shit on screen and be like, I get it, and then keep moving on, I guess.
I guess.
But yeah, I think I addressed what I thought she did, where she got it wrong, and that's just the left is never going to embrace men in any kind of way because they see us as Beelzebub. We are, especially cis white men. You guys have declared us the enemy. You're never going to get over that, no matter how many gay little guys you have make videos talking about men's emotions. And that's referencing one of the videos that she linked to. Somebody said, he clearly didn't watch the video. Like, how the fuck you get I clearly didn't watch the video when one of the things I referenced was her dropping links to other people, which she doesn't bring up till the end of the fucking video.
Look, your hate facts are irrelevant. You clearly didn't watch it.
Man, luckily, I mean, not too many simps came out for her because she wasn't like mad at me or anything. She just said she wished that I'd shown more of her video. And I mean, that's fair enough. But there was nothing directly that she said that I wanted to counter, like if there was one part where she'd said something that was like, oh God, that was stupid, or oh wow, this is really insightful, I would have played that. But a lot of the times around here, we just, hey, this is a thing. We're going to do that tonight with the main topic that's on the thumbnail. We're not watching that video because I don't care to watch the video. I've seen it. There's a lot of yelling and people talking over each other, but there's no reason to play the whole video. We can give a link to where other people can watch it if they want to. So there was no offense meant there. It wasn't like I was trying to hide who Shoe on Head is or try to hide her opinion. And if you think I got it wrong, please let me know where, and I will see if I agree.
Maybe she just wants the exposure our channel could bring.
Yeah, that's probably it. She wants our clout.
Yeah. Oh, that's sweet clout. My channel with its like 600 people and yours with your 25,000. She just wants all our precious manly clout.
Yeah, she wants the man clout.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like something you get on you after sex, man clout. Ugh.
Yeah. You're welcome. If she wants us to go over more of her video, maybe she should give us some exposure for free. How about that?
Honestly, just point out what you thought I got wrong if you did, and I will help. Shoe wants tens of viewers. That's right. That's what she's going after us for.
Yeah.
But no, again, I mean, I wasn't trying to hide anything or be duplicitous. I feel like you guys can find Shoe on Head pretty easily and verify anything I said. So,
yeah, you just look up Discount Boxy.
Wow. All right. She's making a response video and wanted the content. I mean, maybe go ahead and respond to me. Respond, and then we'll do a response to a response. I'm not opposed to that, Jack.
I'm fairly indifferent on most things. So
Yeah. So I don't want to play video just to fill up time, which especially when I'm criticizing people for doing that shit. That would be hypocritical. And as a human, occasionally we all run into our own hypocrisies, but I try not to have them in the first place. Thank you. Another moral question. If your child breaks your curfew and doesn't do homework for 2 weeks, lies to you about being at a friend's house doing homework, and you lock them out of the house, is it child abuse? How old's the child? I think locking your kid out of the house can probably be seen as child abuse all the way up until they're probably 18ish. I mean,
yeah,
that's their food and shelter.
yeah. If they're over 18, yeah, fuck them. But
Place to live.
yeah, I am not a parent, so I don't know. I just wonder how they got out of the kennel to begin with.
Yeah, you're thinking of dogs, not kids.
Oh,
Yeah.
I get those mixed up a lot.
I mean, I don't think you can cut off their food and shelter. That's what home is.
But you do technically own all of their stuff, don't you? Can't you like throw their TV away or cancel their phone plan?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess you could always have a garage sale of all their stuff when they're not home. Be like, if you're not back by this hour, you have like a midnight garage sale and sell all their shit.
If it's a female child, I'd take them for a pregnancy test soon.
Yeah, maybe a drug test too. You can
yeah.
always report them if they don't come back after curfew. You can always report them as a runaway. That's a douche thing to do. Don't get me wrong. I had one friend whose dad not only reported him as missing, said the kid took his car without permission.
Devil's Advocate says, didn't expect them. Door was locked for safety. Didn't hear them. Good luck proving intent to nail me with abuse. I mean, there comes a time. There comes like, come on. No, I don't like the whole locking kids out of homes kind of thing. That's not for me. So
yeah, I think you're opening a Pandora's box of problems there.
Just want to say thank you to KS1X who left me 2 donations offline. One says, on the topic from last night, the lowest point in my life was realizing my social network had atrophied to the point that if I was in a car wreck and passed, I'd be in the Lauder's field because there was nobody left to care. I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
Damn.
There's friends out there, I promise you. And then second one said, also, someone said something that I had never thought about, but is perfect description. Some men are conditioned to believe their very existence is a burden. Their worth starts as a negative. Yeah, we mentioned it as original sin of being male yesterday. That is why the left will never be able to get manly men, men who aren't ashamed of being men, because being a man, anything traditionally male is evil.
Yeah, you have a prehensile birth crime.
Snubber, thank you. 16, it seems, since she already running off curfew is a fundamental out all night anyway. Is fundamentally out all night anyway. Again, even if your child ran off, it makes more sense to lock them in their room than lock them out of the house. I don't mean actually like bolt them in, but you go to your room. Don't come out till I tell you to, kind of stuff. I don't know. I couldn't lock my child out of my house.
Yeah, I don't know the legalities on that. I'm sure it's not good for you if you do that, though.
And in fairness, he did ask the moral side of it, so it's just what we think. Legally, I would definitely check on it. Good luck.
I don't know. I'd be more inclined to do petty shit, like show up at their friends' houses at midnight, be like, "Do you know where she is?" And act like you're all concerned about it, and then just constantly do shit like that. Call all her friends, because I mean, if her phone plan is on yours, you could find out all those contact numbers she's got and just start calling everybody. Get a burner phone and do it too, because she's probably going to have them block your number after the first time. Just get a $10 burner phone and do it. It could be fun.
Look, I'll be honest with you. When I was in high school, my girlfriends were constantly lying to their parents to be with me. They were still good girls. They were just, with me. And one of them did get caught once, Jack, and she got in trouble for a long time. She was grounded for like 8 years. But look, they're kids. They're going to do stupid shit.
Yeah.
Thank you, Snubber. If going to your room seems a hollow punishment in the digital age, and it's considered abuse to deny a child a phone now. Is it legally considered that?
It wouldn't surprise me, sadly. But I mean, you could the Wi-Fi could have an accident where it gets shut off.
You can have your phone out here in the living room. It's the only place you're allowed to have it. And I'm going to sit right next to you while you use it. I need to see the screen.
Yeah.
There you go. You have access.
Teenage girls are some of the most vile human beings alive. So I don't know. I'm not a parent, so I only know what my friends have done with their kids, and none of it's very nice. So I don't know what to tell you.
And in that regard, I mean, even as a younger child, I snuck out of the house and did stupid shit all the time. They're kids. They're pushing boundaries. Now it depends on what was going on while she was gone, too. I mean, there was a story. I don't know if you saw it, Jack. This 16-year-old girl, her dad didn't like her boyfriend. So the boyfriend and the kid stabbed her dad to death. And then ran off with his car and dumbly recorded themselves. They're recording themselves laying in bed, kissing on each other. And he says something like 2 days after we murdered somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good luck in court, homie. But not every kid is like that. Most of them are just doing stupid kid shit. And you got to also be careful not going too far on the strict side either. I mean, it's hard being a parent. You have to make these decisions, and it's difficult to decide. Your kids will test you, I promise. Chain up the phone like a pen at the bank. Yes, that's an awesome idea. I mean, you still have access to your phone. It's just got to be here where I can see it and hear it. I need to see you plotting with your boyfriend to kill me. Hope that answers up the question. Jack, we got to talk about the idiots over there in the UK, man. I don't know if you watched. Did you watch the video?
Oh, yeah. It's been everywhere.
Yeah. So over in the UK, I'm going to bring the chick up on screen. Like I said, we're not going to watch the video. We'll throw the link in for you guys, but I just want the still frame because that's what's important here.
Yeah. Officer Conan O'Brien here.
Yes. Conan got mad because an autistic girl, while they were for some reason around the area, said that she looked like a lesbian. And so they decided to arrest the child.
Yeah, that's a what they call it, a verbal offense.
Yeah, a homophobic offense.
Yeah.
One, why is it offensive to be told you look like a lesbian? What do you think's wrong with how lesbians look?
Oh, I'd be dropping every slur I could then if you're gonna arrest me for that. The UK is such a bunch of pussies, man. Get a constitution like grown-ups.
I'd be pressing charges against her for being homophobic. Why? What is offensive about looking like a lesbian? I mean, other than, look at her.
Yeah.
But exactly, Faithless. Is she judging lesbians to be ugly? Yeah. If you see somebody say, oh, he looks like a bodybuilder, like, hey, I'm not a bodybuilder. I mean, it's not an offensive thing to say. It's just, you look like a lesbian. And look at her. She looks like a fucking lesbian. The girl didn't cut your hair that way.
Well, I think it's more important to point out that she said she looks like a lesbian like Nana. because she was talking about Nana Julie or something like that, some relative of theirs. She was comparing her to that.
So now you calling Nana Julie ugly too?
And maybe Nana Julie is ugly, and this chick knew her. She's like, I don't look like Julie. Julie's a hideous monster.
And yeah, like her lesbian nan. It's what she said. And this chick loses her goddamn mind. Oh, it's a child.
Yeah, but this is a woman cop, and they're horrible people.
At that point, I would have said, you're acting like a lesbian. Loses her goddamn mind over this.
Are you gonna beat me like you're my partner too?
You gonna beat me like a lesbian? Because it was a girl. So yeah, gotta show that dominance. Look, sweetheart, you look like a lesbian. You look like you're trying to look as mannish as possible, which tends to be a lesbian kind of thing, or these days non-binary, I guess, Jack.
Yeah, maybe that's why she was offended.
I don't really have a binary. Shut up. Did you see that the VMAs announced that for the first time ever, or maybe the first time in a long time, I forget which, the video's up for Video of the Year, which I didn't even realize was still a thing. I didn't know videos were still made. But there's no men in the category, but that Sam Smith guy or whatever his name is in there.
Oh yeah, because he's like what
non-binary
attention seeker.
Yeah. Yep. He's a non-binary they them, and he's on there, but there's no men. You guys are fucking stupid. That's how fucking dumb this world has got. Hey,
yeah.
So she said you look like a lesbian. You do. Just move on with your life and get a better haircut.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. Can you imagine being arrested for that, Jack?
I might actually laugh at that. Like, you're arresting me for this? Seriously? It's fucking stupid. What a waste of time, money, and resources. Across the board. Every aspect of that arrest is a giant waste of money and time.
Here in the United States, you can tell a police officer to go fuck himself.
Yeah.
Now, I don't recommend it.
Yeah, they'll hit you with like disorderly conduct or some gay shit that won't stick.
It's legal though. You can tell a cop, a male cop, you look like a lesbian, you look like a dick sucker, and they legally can't arrest you for that. I hate the rest of the world, and this is one of the things. We need to push more free speech. The girl just said you look like a lesbian, and her lesbian nan. That's not that offensive. And you arrested a child over this.
Yeah.
And, Jack, anytime I bring up we're the only country with free speech enshrined, people go, no, Canada has it. The UK, it says right here, freedom of expression. Yeah, and then it says accept.
Yeah. The Soviet Union also had something similar enshrined, and yeah, we still saw how that worked out.
No, we have all the free speech. No, you don't. Yeah, exactly. Nuts. Hate speech is a thing in their world. Hi, Nuts. How are you, sweetie?
Yeah, they charged her with a homophobic public order offense.
Homophobic. I wish I knew what department this cop worked for, because I would encourage all of my American fans to go over to their Twitter and tell them that. Which one?
West Yorkshire Police.
Oh, those fuckers again?
Yeah, it's always Yorkshire or what's the other one? There's two that are always in the news. West Yorkshire is always one of them.
I would go over to West Yorkshire Police and tell them that this cop does look like a man. Now, don't do that if you are in the UK, because they'll get you for it too.
Yeah.
JB, thank you. If you want a picture of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face. Forever 1984. Half to Jack. Thank you for that double feminist donation. Appreciate it.
Thanks, JB.
Ruby Ridge. Now, Ruby Ridge, look, we're not perfect. But we're not getting arrested for saying that cops who look like lesbians look like lesbians.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever arrested anyone for having gardening implements in their yard either.
And in those two cases, at least they were due diligent enough to trump up some charges.
Yeah, I mean, Fake it till you make it, I guess.
Yeah, it wasn't he said the wrong thing. It was he cut a shotgun barrel 2 inches too short. It wasn't even 2 full inches. Wasn't it like half an inch?
Oh yeah,
It was small.
Negotiable amount.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah. Look, I'm not defending what happened at Ruby Ridge or Waco, but yeah, at least it wasn't. We got to kill Koresh because he said that bitch looks like a lesbian when she does. She looks like a lesbian. I don't know what to. I mean, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I need you to be honest. I realize I've been poisoning the well a little bit by saying lesbian a whole lot and me saying she looks like a lesbian. But honest to God, 100%, go into your mind and be honest about this. If I showed you this picture and asked you, is she a lesbian? Give me a 1 if you would have said yes before you heard anything about this story. Give me a 2 if you'd be like, no, she kind of looks like she takes dick. She don't look like she take dick at all.
No,
not a real one. Not one that's not made out of silicone.
Gender swap Conan O'Brien here also has a very large forehead, which is what I noticed first. But I think for context, we require a picture of Nana.
You're probably not wrong about that. I'd also like to point out that right here, the shadow stops because it's hitting her Adam's apple. Are we sure this isn't a dude?
I'm pretty sure it's a woman. Because only a woman cop would get this pissed off about being called a lesbian.
I don't know. I mean, we saw that dude in GameStop destroy the place because somebody said ma'am to him.
It's ma'am. It's ma'am.
So she's offended because she is a lesbian. I think she's offended because she knows she looks like a lesbian.
I think it just hurt her feelings.
She looks like Repsion.
Yeah, if Repsion and O'Brien had a baby.
Yeah, there you go.
She looks like the U.S. soccer team player.
She does.
She kind of does.
Anyway. So anyhow, yeah, this is that's the thing going on over there in the UK. They're arresting kids for pointing out the truth. Jack, I pointed out the truth today and upset a couple of people.
That happens a lot.
It does. It does.
Especially when you do it.
I don't know why I have a way with people, Jack.
You just have a way of interaction that makes people want to talk to you. It's a gift, really.
Yeah. I've told you about how stuff ends up on my timeline that I don't go looking for. This was actually shared by somebody that I follow.
I have apologized for those Asians, okay?
Actually, it was an Asian, but it wasn't you this time.
No.
This person posted this and it said, "Who want me?" And I just responded that based on this, I would say not her real dad.
His stepdad probably is interested, though.
Which I thought was funny as fuck, by the way. I laughed really hard before I typed that out.
Oh, yeah.
But several people got mad at me for insulting a woman, for being an asshole. It was a cheap joke.
But she's a woman.
But she's a woman.
Strong and empowered, and she might touch my wee-wee if I night whitely for her.
Yeah, if you do all the white knighting, she might actually next time show you a nipple in the picture.
Oh, a nipple. Half
believe
nipple.
Me, this isn't just to pat myself on the back for how hilarious I am. It leads into something else. Where the hell did that? Oh, shit. I didn't reshare it, did I? I just responded to it. Frosted. I'm blaming you, even though it's not your fault. Frosted shared a story from Medium, because, of course, fucking Frosted. And it is about an episode in the new season of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And
yeah, that one was behind a paywall, so I was like, fuck that.
It's not a paywall. You just have to have an account where you sign in.
Oh, yeah, I'm not doing that either.
Yeah, I didn't want to, but I wanted to read it because I was curious about what the rest of it said. And since I am signed in, make sure it doesn't say anything personal about me. Yeah, we'll bring the story up and we'll take a look at it. Now, the episode of Always Sunny, I think I may have even mentioned it on here. It's one of my favorites of all 16 seasons now. This is one of my favorite episodes. Oh. They did something that I really enjoy where they like just do something kind of sillyish. And in this case, they're going back to Risky Rat's cheese. sorry, Risky Rats Pizza, and it's kind of a take on Chuck E. Cheese.
Mhm.
And it's nothing like they remember it because it's all been sanitized. There's no freedom for kids to run around and do stuff. Now, they go over the top with the kind of stuff that they did. Like the one girl in the band, excuse me, was very sexualized, and Charlie even claims that's the first boobs he ever saw because he snuck behind stage and looked up there and she had realistic boobies. So a little bit over the top, right?
Yeah.
And over again, they're just like, man, what the hell happened to this place? And Frank's is even worse because they had a timeout room when the gang went to it, but when he went there when he was a kid, they actually had a spanking room where kids would get spanked. Alan, thank you so very much for the donation with no message, or sorry, with a message that says, Monkey, what's up, Alan? Hope you're well, my friend. So this writer talks about it, and I don't know how much I want to read it. I'll throw it into chat so you guys can again double check me, make sure I'm not missing anything. I want to get down to the conclusion that this idiot reaches. He's not wrong about a lot of stuff. He talks about how this is a mirror. Mostly, this is also it's an allegory for comedy itself these days, where things that used to be acceptable just aren't anymore. So you got to watch what you do. And he says, they've done a good job on the show of navigating that kind of stuff, and transitioning to the new way of doing shit.
Thanks, Alan, who says, Jack. Hey, Alan, hope you're doing well.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, in stark contrast to its core characters, has opted for adaptation. Initially presented as funhouse avatars for the time, the gang is now portrayed as an increasingly befuddled relic of a bygone era. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think there's a couple of episodes like this one where they do that.
Yeah, they always have like nostalgia episodes, like the high school reunion one.
Yeah, for the most part, they're just shitbags.
Yeah,
they're just who they are.
People.
The gang is rather than leaping over the line, they're talking about the line in comedy and how people would leap, like George Carlin, leap across the fucking line. That's what you're supposed to do as a comedian. Instead of leaping over the line, recent seasons have delighted in dancing on the line, intentionally flirting with breaches to heighten tension that resolves with the laugh that comes when they pull back. And what he's talking about here is, like, he says at one point, in these days, when somebody says something horrific, the gang all jumps on them. He misses what that is all about in those too. But I mean, that goes all the way back to season 2. In season 2, they have arguments about whether or not you can say Jew, call somebody a Jew, or you have to say he's Jewish or Jewish. This is not a new thing. Maybe he only noticed it because it gives him an excuse to laugh at shit that's still horrible.
Did he not see the episode titled D Dates a Retarded Person?
Dude, at the end of the episode, well, see, that's an early episode. So that's when they used to dance over the line. There was an episode, I think it's in season 12 or 13, where they have to go to this sexual harassment seminar. And at the end of it, it turns out Dennis set the whole thing up. And I forget which character said to go, maybe we should stop sexually harassing women. And Dennis goes, whoa, hey, we don't need to go that far. And that's the end of it. I mean, this guy misses the comedy. He's one of those fucking people that is destroying comedy because he's a fucking pussy.
That's most people. Most of this generation is a bunch of crybaby whiners in there. Oh, that might upset somebody. We got to stay away from that. I might have a feeling.
There's a part in this episode where instead of the timeout room, they now have basically a therapy. They have a restorative justice room, basically. So Matt gets into an argument with a child, because of course he does. And they have to go in there, and this fucking therapist in like a bear suit, I forget what he's dressed as, is discussing, their feelings. How do you feel about this? And at one point, Mac looks at the kid and he just tells him, "You're a pussy. And it's not your fault. Your parents turned you into a pussy." And it's true. That's what's happening in the world. Everybody's being turned into pussies.
Yeah.
We'll get back to that in a minute. No recent episode has executed that dance more skillfully than Risky Rats. The episode concludes with the gang exhuming the retired characters and luring kids to a storage room to experience the type of fun they had in the 80s. A hard cut to the near future reveals utter chaos. Emergency workers evacuate children on stretchers as panicked parents clamor to find their missing kids. These kids, they weren't prepared for that level of fun, Dennis surmises. And that's how the show cuts off. There's this fucking emergency scene, and the 5 of them are standing there, and he just goes, "They weren't ready for this kind of fun." And that's where it cuts off. Newer generations may not be wired for the bare knuckles and sharp edges of the comedy that many of us cut our teeth on. That's neither good nor bad. It's simply the way of things. Fuck you. Okay, in that episode, Jack, yes, people actually get hurt. But we're not even talking about people actually getting hurt. We are talking about jokes. That's the overarching theme of this whole thing. But jokes change. The times change, so the jokes got to change. It's not good or bad. Yes, it's absolutely fucking bad. You're turning people into fucking pussies who get their feelings fucking hurt because a teenager called him a lesbian looking bitch. And didn't even say it like that. Just said, "You look like a lesbian."
You need to go to jail for that.
Said it to somebody else. This is what's wrong with the problem today is people like this were like, it's not good or bad. It's absolutely bad. This doesn't lead anywhere good. This leads to censorship. This leads to, oh my God, hate speech. And you don't have to care about it as passionately as I do and see the connection between this and the eventual actual legal limits on what we can do, but that's what's coming, I promise you. Because the kids who believe this shit, the kids who believe that joke is going to hurt your feelings, they're going to be in power one day. Sorry, Jack.
They always take it a little further and a little further. So of course it's going to get more egregious and the punishment's more heavy-handed because you said something you weren't supposed to.
He finishes this way. Comedy is now faced with the challenge of finding a rhythm that dances on the line to a beat that adapts to modern sensibilities while still challenging them. You can't challenge modern sensibilities by dancing on the line. The point is to go over the line. If you're just at the line, you're not challenging shit. I mean, unless you're on YouTube and they're like, that's not really where the line was. We moved it back.
You're going to jail now.
Great comedy. Go ahead.
Real quick. Thank you, Pumpkin Trucker. Running late as always, but that cop looks like she's boning an android and being thrown across the planet by a pissed off oil slick. Yeah, she's got that kind of the rough look. Thank you, Pumpkin Trucker.
All right, this finishes it off. Great comedy always challenges prevailing attitudes and assumptions. It's a risky racket, but the Sunny Gang so enthusiastically exalted, the fun lies in the risk. There's no risk on the line. The whole thing is that they go over the line in there. There's no fun in, okay, I don't want to say there's no fun in staying in the rules. Sometimes, if you're having fun, that's fun. But if you're talking about comedy and taking risks in comedy, there's no fucking fun in not pushing the boundaries. That's the whole point, is to push the boundary. You don't push a boundary by standing on it. If you need to move something, Jack, and you just kind of lean on it with no pressure put against it, you're probably not going to move the fucking thing. It's going to stay there and you're going to stay there. There's no pushing of the boundary. If you can't push the boundary, then you're just a fucking pussy. And that's what this guy is. He's a pussy who's trying to explain it to himself and try to get everybody else to agree with it, try to justify it in his own head why he's okay with the censorship of comedy. He brings up Dave Chappelle and he's like, but Dave Chappelle was never canceled. Not for lack of fucking trying.
Yeah, he's just got fuck you money.
Yeah. And Netflix had already gave him so much that they're like, we'll go ahead and put on his stuff. They had two choices there.
At that point.
Yeah, they had two choices: pay him and not have shows, or pay him and go ahead and run with the controversy that was bringing people in to see it. Which one would I do?
Right.
This fucking, it pisses me off, man. Especially when it comes to comedy. Look, not all comedy has to push boundaries. Some of it can be observational. Some of it can be political observation. Some of it can just be silly. Gallagher smashing watermelons. I don't know why people found that funny, but they did. But if you're actually talking about pushing boundaries, you can't do it by not pushing the fucking boundary. And we need more boundary pushing. We need more goonie goo goo. If you get that reference, you had a good childhood. I actually made a raw reference on Twitter today. And thank you for those of you who got it. Big green pepper welfare burger. You think he could even get away with that kind of joke today? If you look
Probably
at something
not.
You look at something like Raw. I mean, Raw has Eddie Murphy back in the 80s telling you to go overseas to find a bride because women in the United States are fucked up. He'd be called an incel and drummed off the stage.
Well, plus how he described her was got bone through her nose.
Bone through her nose, yeah. But I mean, this is where the whole point of the court jester, he was the only one allowed to mock the king. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think everybody should be able to mock the king. But today we basically have, no, you can't mock, don't say anything bad about the king. And in this, that's an allegory in itself. But for those of you not getting it, I'm not talking about a literal king here. Everybody should be able to push boundaries, especially in the context of a joke. But no, political correctness had to become a thing. And if you don't believe me about where this is going, look at how political correctness started and where we are today. Political correctness just started with, maybe you shouldn't tell that joke. That's kind of a black joke. Don't do that one. That's how it starts. And look at it where it is today. Oh, don't talk about that either. Or this.
We have to destroy your life for telling a joke or liking a meme.
The boundaries are being pushed back the other way, and that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing for any part of society. You don't have to like jokes like that, but you should be able to go, that's not for me, and move on with your fucking life. Goddamn pussies. Punch up, not down. Exactly, Frosted. Exactly. Punch up, not down. Fuck you. I'll punch anything I want. So I said about that girl, because somebody was like, I don't, trash women. You set me up for a joke, and I'm gonna make the joke. I don't care who you are, what you are. I'm gonna make the joke because it's funny to me.
You're a monster.
No, I'm not a monster. I'm just not a pussy.
Monster.
And I have a great sense of humor. So,
well, I mean,
yeah,
they don't like that either.
Did I throw that link in the chat for people? I can't remember if I did or not.
You put it in the Rumble chat. I don't see it in the YouTube chat, but
it's probably way up there. I always put them in both at the same time. I'll throw it in again for the YouTube folks. The Rumble chat moves a lot slower, so it stays on the screen a bit more. But yeah, oh man. One, watch that episode if you're a fan of Always Sunny. If you've never seen Always Sunny, I highly recommend it. But that guy's just a pussy who's arguing basically to tame down comedy more because that's the modern sensibilities. There was a time when modern sensibilities was owning people, you fucking douche.
Yeah.
Modern sensibilities are not always something you need to grab onto. Sometimes they're stupid.
I, for one, am looking forward to stoning people again.
Can't wait. As long as it's, the kind of people who want to kill comedy. Jack, I'm a huge fan of comedy.
I've noticed that over the years.
I like comedy. It's good for the soul. Laughing is good for the soul. Unfortunately, too many people don't know how to laugh, especially at themselves anymore, man.
Oh, laughter. That's evil shit, man. I don't know.
But let me make you guys a promise. If you can't laugh at yourself, let me know. I'll do it. I'll laugh at you. It's good for you. It really is. It's good to learn a little, self-deprecation. If for nothing else, for your own fucking sanity. I don't understand how humorless people exist in the world. I really don't know how you go through your day that way.
They're miserable people to begin with. So,
speaking of miserable people, that's a great segue. The Krasensteins had the QAnon shaman on tonight on their Twitter Spaces.
Yeah, I lasted about 2 minutes in there, and I was like, I don't care about this.
I lasted about 15 because I was curious to see how it would go, and it was bad. I think they're still going, even though for some reason Brian's over there tweeting at the time. Yeah, they're still going. So they bring him on, and they ask him, this is very early on, what is it about Q that you believe in? Because they first ask him about Q, and he's like, well, here, let me separate Q from QAnon. He says Q is this guy who throws out this stuff, basically throws bombs onto the internet, conspiracy kind of bombs, and people can go look him up. And he goes, the Anon are a bunch of other people, they're not necessarily affiliated, who come up with, they take what he'll say and run with it and take it in all kinds of directions. And the press grabs that. He said the press made QAnon a thing, which, by the way, is true. But before they got their ultra MAGA, everything used to be QAnon. Remember that? They always have to have their evil people to point at and go, this is who's doing it. Now, I don't necessarily agree with everything the whole Q conspiracy has going on. And they asked him, because he, explains that. I go, okay, well, what do you believe? And so he starts to explain it. And he's in the middle of explaining it. And I think it was Ed. He pops up. But he goes, I don't mean to stop you, but don't QAnon followers believe this? I'm like, you asked him what he fucking believes, and you cut him off in the middle to talk about something he may not even fucking believe in.
Well, you got to make him look bad.
Yeah, that's what the whole thing was a whole bunch of people jumping on him because he does believe in some conspiracy theories. He believes the FBI killed Martin Luther King and Kennedy, because they did.
Well, the CIA did.
The CIA with the help of the FBI. Those were FBI sharpshooters.
Yeah.
But
is it a conspiracy if it's true?
Is it right? He points out, with the JFK thing, he's like, you do realize that they're still pushing back. All of the JFK stuff was supposed to be released. All of it.
Trump ordered it all released, and it still has not been released.
It has not, and they're still dragging their feet on it. And there's still some of it. They're like, that's got to be another 20 years. How young were the conspirators? Because most of them are dead by now.
Yeah, I would imagine almost everybody involved in that entire thing is long dead. Is that me or you? You got quiet. Uh-oh. I'm lonely. I'm so
sorry.
lonely.
Am I here now?
Yes.
Okay. For those of you who are going to be like, hey, the JFK thing, it's all a conspiracy. All right, maybe Oswald acted alone. But we do know, beyond a shadow of fucking doubt, that the CIA was well aware of Oswald. And that he was probably one of their fucking stoolies, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, he's a patsy, a very useful patsy.
And they've denied that forever and ever and ever. Oh, wait, yeah. So I'm not saying everything's true about it, Jack. Maybe Oswald is the only shooter. That doesn't mean the CIA wasn't involved. And they just
Right.
deny. George Bush Sr. still alive. Didn't he die? I thought he died.
I don't know.
So yeah, but every time they'd ask him a question, he'd start to answer, and then they'd interrupt. And this is what I left, Jack. Jacob, whatever the hell his name is, QAnon shaman, he starts talking. Or no, he wasn't even talking. He was asked a question by the other Krasenstein. And before he can answer, the one goes, wait, before you start to answer, your answers have been kind of long, and some of the people would like a chance to talk. He goes, so if you could you keep your answer kind of short? And if somebody cuts in, kind of let them talk.
What?
He'd just been being cut off the whole fucking time. And like, some other people would like to talk.
Well, why ask him questions and have him on there if you're not going to let him answer them?
To make him look like a fool. That's why.
Really?
I mean, what other point?
Yeah, but the Krasenstein's trying to make someone look like a fool is...
I know.
That's a level of irony I'm not prepared to handle.
But all of those little fuckers, man, were just interrupting over and over again. And they started inviting more and more people. So it started happening more and more. And then he had the fucking nerve to tell him, yeah, if you could let other people to go fuck yourself. If I was him, I'd have left right then. Because, I mean, obviously they're not in good faith when you keep getting interrupted and they're like, could you please let people talk?
It's the Krasensteins. The fact they were interrupting him at all shows that there was no good faith. And then they let more people in. That's just a slap in the dick. No,
Yeah.
I would have left.
Well, it was supposed to be a space with them and him. And when you first go over there was actually 7 people, but it showed 8 speakers. And I say that because one of the other speakers in the group was a joint Krasenstein account. So each of them has their single account, and then there's the joint Krasenstein account as well.
Wow.
Which I think one of their wives was on, because one of their wives occasionally lets them use their or use her platform.
Oh.
When they got kicked off Twitter, they were still tweeting under, I think it's Brian's wife, the one that gets plowed by the other one.
Yeah.
They were still using, it's like Miss Krasenstein or something like that. But anyway, yeah, I don't have to believe everything this guy says, but if you're going to ask him questions, let him fucking talk. Anyway, and it's not like he was avoiding the questions, Jack. At one point, Brian asked him about something, I forget what, and he starts answering it, and he's like, but do you have proof? And he goes, I'm trying to give it to you. And it was just a whole fucking shit show. It was annoying though. What else do we have going on? No, I don't care about that. That's people annoying me. Oh, this one's just funny to me. It's actually from a day or two ago. This was put out by something called MMA Uncensored. I don't know the account. I don't actually follow him. Somebody else had retweeted it. It says Clarissa Shields challenges Jake Paul to intergender boxing match. Who wins? Like, I went and looked her up, right? First of all, Jake Paul has like 30 pounds on her.
Oof.
Yeah, so that's not good.
He's pretty built boy, so
he really is.
Probably all muscle.
I went and watched her thing and I looked up her record. She's undefeated. Undefeated. I want to say it's 12 fights with 2 knockouts. So I went and looked up the knockouts because I saw that they were TKOs. Several ways to get TKOs, Jack. One is to if you have the 3 knockdown rule and you knock them down 3 times in a match, you can get a technical knockdown if you knock them down and the ref stops it before there's a 10 count. You can also get it if they stop fighting back, or you're just so dominant in the ring that the ref's like, this is going to get somebody killed.
What if somebody actually dies? What does that count as?
Technically, it depends. Did they count him out or not?
Oh,
yeah. Because I mean,
if these 2 fight, she's gonna end up with a broken skull at the minimum. Probably some brain damage too.
She is very good at fighting girls. The problem is, if you see her, she'd probably fight. I'm guessing middle to welterweight. I didn't look up her actual size, but she's not built like a flyweight or one of the really smaller weights. She's got some meat on her. But these two girls fighting each other in the ring, it's like watching two flyweights fight. They just pound each other, bam, 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 and nobody gets knocked out because, well, there's not knockout force behind it.
Yeah, they don't have the muscle density and power that a man does. But again, they always ignore basic biology when they put these kind of stupid comparisons up.
I don't like Jake Paul, but he's knocked fuckers out.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we're stopping this because he's down on the can, and if he gets back up, he might get hurt. Not, okay, she's not fighting back anymore. End of the fight. And that's not to take anything away from her. Good job in your female boxing career, but you step up to a man that's even your size, even without having to lose the weight, and you're going to get killed. We're going to get women killed with this nonsense that we're all equal.
Yeah, but it'll take quite a few bodies before they change their tune.
Imagine if Jake Paul fought Tyson. Paul would get knocked the fuck out because Tyson had power beyond belief. You had to have a very strong chin for that guy.
And really rugged ears.
Yeah, that would help. That would help. We haven't talked about this, man, but Maui's on fire.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty tragic. There's some real damage being done to quite a lot of Maui.
They had a forest fire get out of control, which of course is global warming's fault.
Oh, naturally. Not bad forest management on an island.
I saw this picture, and honest to God, my first thought was, hey, that looks like my Sim City. I had a real bad problem in Sim City of forgetting to put fire departments in, because I'd always want to spend my money on something else. I'll get that later, and then a fire would break out. I'm like, fuck, I'm screwed.
So this is God's version of forgetting that.
This is God playing Sim City, man. This fire is just tearing through there, and there's several people dead. Somebody just said 36.
Yeah.
And it's not done yet. But
no, they've been pulling people out, flying them out in helicopters, boats, people jumping into the ocean to try and escape the flames. It's pretty crazy. Some of the stories coming out of here are ridiculous. And a lot of historic stuff from pre-Americanization of the island has been destroyed, old churches, stuff like that.
Yeah.
From back when Hawaii was an independent nation.
I don't know about their forest management stuff. I don't know what they're doing with that, but I mean, a lot of the forest on Hawaii and the different islands is tropical forest. I mean, it's actual rainforest.
Yeah.
And you have rainforest burning down. That's not global warming. That's too much tinder. That's too much little shit on the ground that burns enough to dry out the trees to burn them down.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you look at how far apart some of the stuff is on the screen, for them to burn, for the flames to travel that far. I mean, you have whole roads between these things and they're just getting fucking burned up. You can't go, global warming dried out that building. Go fuck yourself. Fires are a natural action. That is true. And they happen naturally. I'm very curious of what started this one.
Matches, probably some eco loons.
A lot of times, I mean, they don't talk about it, but a lot of times these fires are started by people, and you can eventually find it when they're sentenced to whatever for burning the places down.
Yeah, and those fires will be attributed to global warming either way, or climate change. I'm pretty sure there's an arsonist named Climate Change that we don't know about.
There might be. Maybe that's who's doing all this shit. Poker, thank you. So apparently Little Tay is alive. Yeah, we didn't talk about Little Tay. Oh, fuck. I guess we're going to. All right. I saw it right before the stream. People were talking about it in chat as well. Do you know who Little Tay is?
Yeah, a little mouthy kid.
Little Tay breaks onto the scene. She's like 9 years old, and she's acting like Jake Paul or Rice Gum at the time. For those,
she hung out with Jake Paul once or twice.
For those who don't know who those are from the time, imagine Andrew Tate, but much more annoying. flashing the money, flashing the cars, talking about how you a bitch and you'll never have what I have. It was utterly fucking ridiculous. And it turns out that her brother was managing her media campaign, and he was the one that put all the videos up. Like, really? No shit. You mean the 9-year-old's not a multimillionaire with a Bugatti?
I'm shocked.
Driving that Ferrari around? Driving that... I don't know what other rich cars are. I'm poor, Jack.
Yeah, Porsche.
A Porsche. Driving that Porsche? Yeah, shocking. I thought the 9-year-old had a massive business. But anyway, she disappears from the scene and nobody gives a shit about her until a couple of days ago when on her social media it pops up that her and her older brother are dead. Nobody knows why. And media reaches out to her dad, who's like, I got no comment about that, which should have been your first clue that she wasn't actually dead.
Yeah, yeah. The dad's not crying and he's got no comment. Something funny's going on.
Yeah, 2 of his kids supposedly died. Well, Lil Tay busts back on the scene today, Jack, safe and sound. Her internet had been hacked.
Uh-huh.
And if you believe that shit, you're an idiot. Now, I haven't verified this myself, but Keemstar said that she has her own Bitcoin kind of thing coming out, her own cryptocurrency coming out today.
Of course she does.
Shocking.
Yeah,
it's just another stupid publicity stunt.
Did the Paul brothers help with that one too?
Probably. But she got everybody talking about her again. Nobody's talked about her in like 2 years. So,
well, her and that Cash Me Outside girl. I mean, you have a limited amount of fame time, but the Cash Me Outside girl went on to OnlyFans, became kind of a cam whore kind of thing.
Yeah, the Cash Me Outside girl made a shit ton of money on OnlyFans from weirdos who are like, she's like, I'm 18 now, and they're like, show me your puss. Kind of creepy, fellas. At least give it 6 months. God damn.
Or even a month would be good. Have a little bit of runtime in there, just a little. I'm sure that chick has been well used, but
I'm sure, yeah. But hopefully not by adults at that age, you know. Anyway,
well, she's not a Disney girl, so she's probably okay on that front.
You start a monkey coin to go with all the bridges you sell. You know, Backscan, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah. So you can only buy the shares to the bridge in Monkey Coin.
That's right.
But so they have to give you cash to convert it, so you can convert it into Monkey Coin.
That's right. Cash Me Outside. What else do I have today? Oh, at least 5 House Democrats have called for Clarence Thomas's resignation. Representatives Ted Lieu, Jayapal Pascrell, Jerry Connolly, and my favorite in that group, Hank Johnson.
Wow, it's like the super retard friends.
It's like the Tard Brigade. Yeah, look, try this. By all means, go out there and say he should resign, but I feel that it's by your own standards, stochastic terrorism.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to drum up bullshit on the internet to make him resign, do your job and try to impeach him. Good luck. That's how you get rid of judges, Jack. They're allowed to be there in good time and in times of good behavior, and when they're not behaving well, you impeach them. Try it. File the articles of impeachment against Clarence Thomas. This should be funny. One, they wouldn't even, McCarthy would just fucking laugh. But go fuck yourselves. You're just trying to drum up more hate against the Supreme Court so that you can pack it. That's all you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
And in the process, you are stirring up the crazies. And hopefully, well, I was going to say something, probably get me in trouble. I was going to say, hopefully karma comes your way. But I don't want anything bad to happen to them physically. I want to make that very, very clear. But if people want to fuck with Ted Lieu, I encourage it because it's funny as shit.
Yeah, and he's stupid. He's really, really stupid.
Oh, fuck this fucking story. Fucking piece of stupid fucking shit. We got to talk about more global warming. I meant to have this one with the Hawaiian one, but we got distracted by little Tay. Ocean
Is
heat
this West?
off the charts. So where are the hurricane? Forecasters warn a change is coming. Dun dun dun.
I'm scared.
So Jack, apparently, it's going to be a really horrible hurricane season. Now, if I'm just going by the historical record, this probably means we're going to have a very tame hurricane season.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Every time these jackasses like, oh, it's going to be bad. It's never bad. I mean, they did that after Katrina. Katrina hits back in the 90s, right? Early aughts.
It was in the odds, like 2008, I want to say.
Yeah, and so they're like, oh my God, this shows it. This shows that hurricanes are horrible and they're just going to keep getting worse. And then we went 11 years without landfall of a hurricane in the United States. One of the longest stretches ever.
That's a hate fact.
2005. Gotcha. Okay.
I was close.
Yeah. They're saying that because of the ocean temperature, it's warm right now. It's really warm, way warmer than warm should ever warm. And in the Gulf of Mexico, it's like warm, and in some places, it's really warm. But really out in the open sea, where it's also very warm, it's very warm. There's stuff keeping the hurricanes from popping up, but we don't know if it's going to continue because El Nino. It actually talks about El Nino in this article.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
They do not know anything about hurricanes. They can't even track the fuckers. If you ever notice, until it actually makes landfall, they're like, it could go left or right or in the center. It could turn around. It could do a double back. It could twerk. We don't know what the fuck it's doing. But they all pretend like they do because they just don't fucking know. And this far along in our technology, we still cannot track the path of a hurricane. Well, we can track. I mean, we can't predict the path of a hurricane.
Hate fact.
I'd like to point out that way back when Katrina happened, when all of these fucking retards, including Al Gore, was telling us this, look, it's proof the bad hurricanes are coming. People who studied hurricanes at the time were saying, please stop saying that. So far, we've never shown any link between hurricanes and global warming. Those people were shut down. We don't hear from them anymore.
Yeah, they all lost their jobs and got censored.
In this article, Jack, they tell us why they know it's going to be a bad hurricane season. You ready for this?
Uh-huh.
There's consensus. I'm not kidding. That's there's consensus that it's going to be a bad hurricane season because last year, Jack, last August, in fact, there was a lack of hurricanes. There were no hurricanes in August of last year during hurricane season, during the start of the hurricane season.
So Gaia is saving them up. See, now she's got twice as many in store. They're like Pokemon. She collected them all, and now it's going to unleash them in a torrent, right?
Frosted Glass, thank you. From the makers of Sharknado comes Twerkicane. I'd watch that. Yeah, I guess that's what they're doing, man. The guy is just saving that up to punish us all at once for heating up herself, I guess.
Yeah.
Last year, just real quick, last year, that August without a hurricane was the first time in 20 years. With all that global warming, this gotten so bad that this year's the hottest year ever, you guys. Relax, calm down. Is the climate changing? Very possibly. Is it so bad that we have to be freaking out over it? No, absolutely not. We've had worse hurricanes. I mean, we've had hurricanes going back before we actually were able to record them like this. Was it the Galveston hurricane?
Yeah, it was that 1912. They got that one really wrong.
Just fucking wiped the place off the fucking map.
Yeah, they didn't evacuate because the guy that was supposed to be in charge of the weather prediction got it completely wrong. And a whole lot of people died.
But they're like, no, this time we know for no, you guys are fucking retards. You don't know shit. But I'm supposed to trust you on everything else. And here's the thing, Jack. This is what pisses me off. If at the end of the hurricane season, it's been a really busy season, they will proclaim victory. See, we told you, you should listen to us. But if they're wrong, they won't say shit.
No, if they're wrong, they're like, you can't go off just one season.
They will never
look at
the
entirety.
Yeah, they do that with like snowstorms, like the whole global warming thing. Hey. When it's unreasonably cold and you have snowstorms like you've never seen before, that is not indicative of the climate being cooler. Okay. You can't look at these one or two off things. By the way, one day it was really hot last week.
So that makes it the worst ever.
Fucking shitbags. Anyhow, I fucking hate that shit because I know how it's going to turn out. I know it's going to happen. Even if one major one lands, hits like Andrew or Katrina did, and see, we told you it was because of that really hot summer thing.
Hot summer nights. Oh, no, not that.
I just want to bring this one up because I think it's interesting. I don't care at all about Jonah Goldberg. Somebody said he's only famous because of his mom, and that's 100% true.
Who's his mom?
Oh, fuck. If you hadn't asked me, I'd know. Joanna Goldberg, is that her name?
I don't know.
She's been around for a long time. She used to be like a publishing magnate or some shit like that.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so Jonah goes on this show and he just makes a statement, and I'm paraphrasing it, that small donors don't care about winning, major donors do. And he's not necessarily, Lucianne, thank you, not saying anything necessarily bad about that, but it's true. What he's talking about is like people who give, small donor amounts, they're not really interested in who's going to win the election. Now, you might even say, but hey, they want that person to win. They might want that person to win, but they want their policies to win. They're not saying, I want the Republicans to win, or I want the Democrats to win. They're saying, I want these ideas to win. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the ones who actually make the difference in where things are going are the people who are looking like, you don't have to like this, it's just true. Look at Biden. It's the people who are looking like, how can we win this election? Of that field of 16, whether you think Biden won legitimately or not, the only one that had any chance was Joe Biden. The rest of them were completely unelectable, including our vice president. None of
yeah, I did a Venn diagram.
The other two that were hanging out at the end, not counting Bernie, who there's no way he gets elected. Klobuchar, wine mom bitch, that was her core audience was, hey, wine moms, let's get drunk together. And then Gay Pete, who, Gay Pete might have had a little bit of a chance until they started hearing him actually talk.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
He's an idiot. So the only one that really had a chance was Biden, and the donors knew that. And that's why, even though he loses several of the first couple of races, he looks like a lost cause. They kept pouring money into his coffers because he's the one that's going to win or has a chance. Now, I will say this, Jack. I'm not sure that's a good thing. I wonder what the political landscape would be like if there wasn't the big donors. I don't think they should be outlawed or anything, but who would really come out on top if it was just the people voting with their dollar? Who do you think would have come out on top in the Democrat thing if it was just people voting with their dollar?
If it was just like small donors, grassroots kind of thing. What?
I said, yeah.
Oh, Bernie had a pretty good grassroots going, and probably Tulsi.
I would say I think Tulsi, she hurt herself too much by going against Hillary the time before.
Oh yeah.
I think Bernie absolutely would have been their champion.
He had a really good, efficient machine of small donors.
Yep. And isn't it supposed to be about what the people want?
You'd think so, but you know,
I don't know.
If they want to stay happy.
I don't know if that's good or bad, but what he pointed out is absolutely true. It is the big donors who are looking at who's going to win rather than, this is what I believe in most. There's nothing wrong with donating to what you believe in, but let me tell you right now, if you're donating to somebody like Tim Scott, you're wasting money. If you're donating to that guy who gave out gift cards so he could get his 40,000 small donors, you're just wasting money. Maybe in that case, you're gaining some.
Yeah, to be fair, you probably broke even.
But there's a lot of these people, if you're donating to them, you're just wasting money. At this point, I would even say if you're donating to Vivek, you're wasting money. Unless DeSantis really drops the ball, he's number 2 until at least the primaries start. But anyway, my vote's for Butted GGG. All right, let's move along, shall we? What's this first thing?
That's that video we were talking about before we went live. Just ignore it. We'll talk about it after the show.
Oh God, yeah. All right. Once the music kicked in, I realized what it was.
Yeah, because I'm a dick.
Oh my. Speaking of angry lesbians. Extinction Rebellion activist who stabbed fiance to death as he begged her not to, jailed for at least 24 years. Well, that's good.
Yeah, her gumballs will be all dried up by then.
Yeah, she's gonna learn the taste of taco. An Extinction Rebellion activist. For those of you who don't know, these are people who believe that we have to fight climate change now. We're all gonna die, and so they do stupid shit like gluing themselves to buses and roads and buildings. My favorite was when they did it to a door, and so they just opened the door. If you've never seen that video, it's funny as hell.
That was amazing. Like whatever business guys like, fuck this, I'm just going through them. That was brilliant.
These people use this weird epoxy. It's not glue. That's really strong, and often they have to cut out whatever it is around them because they can't just free their hand. And so, like, they'll have to cut out a huge chunk of asphalt to get these assholes off the road. I would leave them there. If I'm being honest, I'd put a couple of hazard cones around them and fuck it, good luck.
Yep.
It's gonna be dark soon. I hope the drivers see that fucking cone. Anyway, Extinction Rebellion activist who wanted to be a human rights lawyer, of course you did, was jailed for life after stabbing her fiance to death in the middle of a London street. Blaze Lily Wallace. You think that's their real name?
Probably. That'd be why she's all crazy.
You should have been a stripper. That's what your parents obviously wanted for you.
Probably would have made more money. Yeah.
28, was pregnant with Samuel Mayo's child when she murdered him near their home in Mortlake, London. With witnesses saying that the slain man could be heard desperately saying, "Please, Blaze, I love you. Please, Blaze." Just look at those eyes, man. No, that's crazy. Don't, guys, gentlemen, do you see those eyes? This one doesn't open up all the way. That's a red flag right there. That's the devil in her. But 2, look at that cold blank stare.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it's kind of hot, but at the same time, you shouldn't go for that.
Blaze dealt Samuel a killer 4-centimeter wound. What is that in American? What's 4 centimeters in non-retarded?
Anybody know? Idea.
leaving him to beg passerbys for help before he bled out around 9:45 on July 18th. Did nobody call a fucking ambulance?
She probably got him pretty good, to be fair.
Wallace was unanimously convicted at Kingston Upton Thames Crown Court on murder and possession of an offensive weapon after a 3-week trial. Court sentenced Wallace to life with a minimum of 24 years, but caveated that she may never be released. 24 years for stabbing a motherfucker to death.
Yeah.
The father of her children.
She'll probably do like 5.
Judge Rajiv Shetty told Wallace, "You stabbed him once to the chest." Damn, he died from a single stab wound. That must have been right in the worst spot. Wearing a Casper the Friendly Ghost sweatshirt, you stabbed him. Wait, that part's not in quotes. Is the judge wearing the Casper the Friendly Ghost sweatshirt, or was she?
I think she was.
All right, I'm just making sure. You stabbed him with sufficient force at a downward angle for the knife to go through his rib cage cartilage and into his heart. Oh, fuck. He shouted for help and was losing a lot of blood at this time. In contrast to the people who tried to assist him, you did nothing and left the scene, allowing him to die and showing a complete lack of remorse. So we're taking you to hang you, right?
No, she'll do like 3 years. They'll be like, "You're a woman, you're fine."
He had a life like yours that was blighted by heavy drug use, but despite this, he was well liked by his family and was well known in local area. It was a volatile relationship, but Annie had been violent towards you, and witness gave evidence of a central theme of arguments in streets and home, which you were also the aggressor. Wallace claimed the killing was in her defense and that of her unborn child, but the court rejected the claim. All right. Court heard that the couple were under the influence of heroin, cocaine, and cannabis. Fuck. Got some smack, some coke, and some pot on. All right. I'm not high enough. Get the coke. Judge Shetty said, you followed him around. 6 minutes later, you took with you large knife, and I reject completely that you took that in case things got violent and you had to protect yourself. No, you stabbed this motherfucker. Look, these Extinction Rebellion people are shitbags. I'm not glad he's dead, but he was a shitbag too if he was one of them.
Oh, yeah.
You don't just get to stab somebody. Jesus Christ, man. 24 years? This guy's not that old. Or wasn't. Sorry. She should have to be in jail for at least as long as average lifespan would have had him alive. At least.
Yeah. But, they go easy on people these days.
How old was he? Do they tell us? No. I mean, if she's...
I don't remember it. One of the other articles I read on it had him in his mid-20s, but I don't remember. He was
I was gonna say
around her age.
They don't look that far apart in age. So yeah, 50 years minimum. Could you post the link to the article? Jack, can we toss that link in?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, fuck Extinction Rebellion too, if I didn't say it already. Because I just want to point that out. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you have an article about this. I don't know if there are many articles about this, really. But the writers union and the Hollywood folk are getting together, I think, Friday to talk for the first time in a while.
I'm going to continue to not care.
I'm imagining it's because the writers, their union dues or their union coffers are getting kind of small. They've been on strike. It's been 100 days.
Really?
It's been 100 days and nobody gives a shit. So the writers are like, I guess we should talk to them now. Especially the heads of the union, man. They don't want to have to get a real job.
No. And I'm sure a lot of these people are, not only are they, is the union almost out of money, what little savings these clowns have is probably running out too.
Yeah. Who is that? The Adam, what's his name? Adam Destroys Everything.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
That shitbag, like, we got money for days. No, you don't, bitch. You just don't have that much money. And the heads of these unions are not going to go out and get a job. they need to sit on their fat ass, and you guys need to keep giving them money for nothing. Conover, thank you, Adam Conover. So the heads of your unions are going to go make a deal that's probably shit. And there's a great moment in the latest pitch meeting that he did for, what's the Samuel L. Jackson Disney
Secret
Plus?
Invasion.
Secret Invasion, thank you. Where at the end he's talking about how they were going to make an intro using AI, and the writer's like, oh, well, that's kind of weird. What else can you do with it? And the producer guy says, oh, we can do like basically everything, acting and writing and everything. He goes, what do you expect me to do? And the guy goes, pay us fairly. He goes, we don't do that now. Which is true. But it look, you guys chose that business. That's your fault.
Yeah.
I didn't tell y'all to join a bunch of fucking union shitbags who've been screwing actors and writers and creative types their entire life so that they don't have to get a fucking job. Fuck you.
Yeah, the union's making more money than anyone else.
Yeah, fuck off. Tell the unions to fuck off and go back to work and be like, hey, let's talk about how much you're going to pay me for this. Anyway. So I've never liked unions, Jack. Unions don't have your best interest at heart. Unions have the union's best interest at heart. And if you don't believe that, then you're fucking brainwashed by them.
Yeah.
Fair Work Commission rules IAG's firing of Susie Cheek for not typing enough on laptop was fair. What?
Oh, yeah. This is going to be a fun one.
An Aussie woman who worked at an insurance company for 18 years was sacked after bosses started monitoring her activity on her work laptop. Major insurance company used keystroke technology on an employee's work laptop to test whether she was working her designated hours, and it ended terribly for her. The Fair Work Commission has rejected an unfair dismissal application brought by former Insurance Australia Group consultant Susie Chico,
And the man.
Devil Fruit Zero thing. Learn to code, Hollywood. I agree. Although if you most of them are stupid. Yeah. According to the Commission's published finding, Chico was responsible for creating insurance documents, meeting regulatory timelines, and monitoring work from home compliance. Ironic. Among other significant roles. Ironically, her own work from home performance marked the end of her 18-year career with the company. Bangs, sweetheart, bangs. According to the FWC findings, Chico was fired on February 20th for missing deadlines and meetings, being absent and uncontactable, and failing to complete a task which caused the industry regulator to fine IAG. She's missing so much work that they're getting fines because of it. Fuck yeah, I'd fire that bitch. I don't know about how it is in Australia, Jack. Here, the insurance, you guys can think insurance is a scam or whatever, but it is heavily regulated. Like ridiculously regulated. When it comes to like home and auto insurance, Jack, they can't even make more than, it's like 2% profit a year. It's like, oh my, they're just trying to take money from me. They're not making that much money. Most of the money they make is from investment. And you miss something like that? Oh, fuck that. Whoever was responsible would have been fired immediately here. You wouldn't even need the keystroke shit.
They wanted to build a case, I think.
Probably.
You can tell by all the lengths they went to that they obviously were afraid this woman was going to be a pain in the ass.
A month later, Chico claimed to the FWC her employer had premeditated plan to remove her from the business and that she was targeted due to her mental health issues. Oh, fuck off.
See what I mean?
According to online findings, Chico received a formal warning on November 2022 about her output and was put on a performance improvement plan. Bring her into the for all those people, there's no no reason to go to the office. Bullshit. People fuck off at home. A lot.
What?
She
Mr.
was
Mittens
subject.
needs love, monkey.
She was subject to a detailed review of cyber activity, which analyzed the number of times she physically pressed her keyboard on 49 working days from October to December. The review found she did not work her rostered hours for 44 days and started 47 days late, finished early on 29 days, and performed 0 hours of work on 4 days. On the days she did log on, she had very low keystroke activity and recorded 0 strokes over 117 hours in October, 143 in November, and 60 in December. She averaged 54 keystrokes per hour during the duration of her surveillance. 54 an hour? You should be able to do that in a minute. Do you have any idea how many words you can type a minute?
No, I have no idea. I prefer not to time myself. I get distracted really easily.
In a formal meeting about the review, Chico said she did not believe for a minute the data was true, but showed no evidence that she'd been online and working when the report showed she hadn't. Sometimes the workload was a bit slow, but I have never not worked, she told managers. I logged in for the day.
I logged in and sat here not doing anything and watched a movie.
54 per hour. Yeah, Evolved. I do more than that when I first wake up and hit Twitter in the morning.
Yeah.
She said, I mean, I may go to the shops from time to time, but that's not for the entire day. I need to take some time to consider this, and I will put forward a response.
Yeah, sometimes I go shopping while I'm logged in, but
I never not work, but I'm shopping. How are you working from the shop, sweetheart?
She's thinking about work. She journaled about it later.
Yeah, letters per minute. We're not even talking words per hour. That's just keystrokes. That's a simple sentence. A simple sentence. Okay, maybe not a longer sentence. One of my tweets is what, 288 characters?
Mm-hmm.
That's 288 keystrokes on a long tweet from me, and I do it in less than a minute.
Well, and if you have a space in between, you've hit another keystroke because you hit enter to create a new paragraph. So,
well, the reason I use Twitter as the example is because they count that. They count that as a space, yeah.
Oh, okay.
In a written response, Chico said she looked at the data to seek an explanation for the missing hours, but really can't recall why or how it's that low. Because you were at the shop.
Back to bed. Yeah.
You were at Costco or whatever the fuck they have in Australia. You were at Kmart. I know they still have those over there, right?
I have no idea. She went to Macca's.
Australians, you guys still have Kmart's over there? I knew you guys did not that long ago. I've tried to go through. I've been going through a lot of personal issues, which has caused a decline to my mental health, and unfortunately, I believe it has affected my performance and my work. You weren't working, bitch. Thank you, Ruin Titan. Hey, Monk, have you heard Oliver Anthony's song "Rich Men North of Richmond"? It's blowing up. I have. Matt Walsh tweeted out today. I listened to it. I like that. Yeah. He's got a very go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to congratulate him on his first super chat.
Oh yeah, thank you for that. The guy Oliver Anthony, he's got a very kind of Alan Jackson / Dwight Yoakam kind of sound. If you don't like country, you will probably not enjoy it because it's a deep kind of country sound. He's playing a steel guitar. And that's all it is. It's him and his guitar, and it's really good if you like country music. If you don't, stay away from it because you won't like it. Chico said, yeah, Chico said she'd always started on time. See, I told you, logged in and that was it. I know people that do that kind of shit. It amazes me because my wife usually works from home and she's working. And like, they can't see you, right? But she has a work ethic and I don't. Anyway, she claimed she would send a team message to advise managers when she had medical appointments and would make up the time afterwards.
Uh-huh.
But again, you just clocked in. You didn't do anything.
Yeah, she would have something to show for being there. Even if like she made up the work later, she'd be able to show that. Be like, here's what I did. But she didn't do anything.
She says she was confused and shocked at the data, doubted its accuracy, and said that she used other devices than her laptop to log in when she had system issues.
Uh-huh.
All right. When you were logged in, 54 strokes an hour. You weren't doing anything.
How many of those do you think were her attempts at remembering her password?
Probably. According to the FWC ruling, Chico attended one Microsoft team meeting with the managers regarding her performance with the word fuck written across her hand. Well, that was a good idea. FWC Deputy President Thomas Roberts ruled the evidence showed Chico was not working as she was required to do during her designated working hours. Yeah, and that's what it boils down to. They have actual proof you weren't doing shit. They brought receipts, bitch. And you should have known. I mean, when they put you on any company worth its salt, if they put you on work from home, they can already monitor most of what you're doing. Any good company will do that just to make sure you're working. In this case, they gave you a warning. You should have thought at that, maybe I should make sure I'm on the up and up for a while. Travis, thank you so much. My ex's software company had to make everyone go back to the office because all the devs defeated everything that HR put on their computers to monitor productivity. Yeah. Look, people, I don't want to go back to the office. Yeah, but a lot of people need somebody looking over their shoulder to make sure they're getting their job done. That's just fact.
Yeah.
And lots of people, no, I don't. Yeah, maybe not. But how much have you done of it when you're not there? And fuck, man, the office I used to work at, Jack, you could fuck off in the office most of the time. The requirements that you had to meet were not that hard to meet. And people would get in trouble for not meeting them. Like, how the fuck?
Just meet the requirements and then goof off. It's not that difficult.
Pumpkin Trucker, thank you. Want to really piss some folks off? Point out that Oliver Anthony has a deer blind behind him. No doubt he's a meanie toaster owner, and I've heard he's from Farmville, Virginia. How perfect is that? I didn't even notice the deer blind. I wasn't actually watching the video. I was listening.
Real quick. Thank you, Travis Gardner. I don't know. 54 strokes gets the job done for me.
I mean, depends on the kind. I don't think that's the work she was doing, homie.
Might have been. That's why she wasn't getting her job done.
Yeah. She was being lazy. And she didn't think anybody was going to find out because nobody was looking over her shoulder. You're just dumb, man. Shit, man. Even in the office I used to work at, Jack, they could log into your computer and see what you were doing in the office.
Yeah. I worked at a place that they insisted that they could turn on the camera and watch you while you were logged in.
Oh, see, ours, you didn't even need the camera. I mean, they would just look, and if your mouse and stuff wasn't moving, because we were constantly doing stuff.
Yeah.
They'd be like, how come you're not doing anything? They would send you a fucking message.
I just expected they were all perverts, but
I knew they were watching, so I made sure I did my fucking job.
Yeah. I mean, you got to do something to kill the time, right?
You do. I guess work is out of the question for old Blondie there.
Yeah, well, she's got a little too many filters on anyway, or
I'm
way too
too
much makeup. I don't know.
I'm too cute for work.
Uh I just don't feel like doing this. I'm gonna go play with the doggy and then go to the shops.
I love that she even says she went to the shop sometimes. Like that's normal work behavior.
Maybe for her it is.
The
They
only
probably
time
wanted to fire this bitch a long time before that.
the only time I've ever gone to the store when I was, working was when I was sent there by a manager like, "Hey, we need something from the store. Will you go get it?" Then I went and got it and came immediately back because around here, Jack, it's not like you can pretend there's traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that way, and here's a little help for you guys out there. You might not get a fuck off all that long, but that's 15 or 20 minutes that you don't have to do. And then the next time when they need something, they'll know you'll go and get it and not fuck around, and you'll have another 20 minutes off. Just be the good employee. It's not that hard.
I like money. So
54 strokes in an hour. Jesus Christ.
She's not even trying to fake it at that point. Yeah, that's like what, 1 hour of real work over the course of the entire day.
Is the sentence she only typed 54 strokes an hour, 54 strokes? It's got to be close.
Real quick. Thank you, Travis Gardner. Again. Tried to work from home, but no one would bring me their fridges.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that.
Dar says, technically, you were always at the store when you worked at Wally World. Yeah, but I wasn't shopping. There were times when I worked at Wally World where I was sent to other stores to get stuff. Occasionally, we would need something from like the hardware store. Shit that we didn't have, in our normal catalog of inventory.
Yeah.
I was the good employee, except management hated me.
Well, yeah, these things happen. You can't win them all.
Only upper management, and fuck them. They were largely douchebags anyway. Seattle mayor's office demanded fewer officers. Fuck off. Seattle mayor's office demanded fewer officers who are white for new police hires. You guys have been having problems getting enough people in there. You should not be discriminating about who's coming. You should be doing it based on the fact that some of them are psychotic.
No, they have to make sure that they get more people of color to represent Portland for some reason, because there's such a huge population of blacks and Latinos in Portland. I don't know. It's just our CL, whatever. They're both stupid towns. I don't care.
Well, Seattle's the one where they had that. It did eventually start happening in Portland, but Seattle's the first one where we saw the massive amount of people, and they had to limit the number of police officers who could retire in a year.
Yeah. Well, that's
because they were losing
Chaz.
so many.
Yeah, they were shitting on their cops all the time, and I get it.
And
I wouldn't want to work there either.
Now they're like, we need honkies to stay away. Yeah, it's much better when black cops, destroy somebody's civil rights. Like we saw in that one beating video. There were no honkies there.
Yeah, was that Memphis?
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know if people know this, but there's bad black and Latino cops too.
What?
It's really not a colored thing.
I am running out of shocked Pikachu faces. Just saying.
I have a Walmart question. How do the self-checkouts detect people stealing? It seems like they always go off on me, and yes, I'm paying for everything. I don't know what you mean by always go off. If you're talking about the like an electronic thing where you walk through and go beep beep beep, that's supposed to deactivate when you scan it. Their scanners are obviously not working properly.
Yeah.
How do they? Go ahead.
When I worked at Meijer, the scale, there's a scale underneath where your baggage goes, and every item has a weight attributed to it. If something weighs a little too much, it'll trigger it and say that, there's something funny going on here.
Our Walmart, our Meijer does have that. Our Walmart does not.
Yeah.
Walmart counts on you being afraid of them watching you. It's why they have CSMs wandering around there. It's why they have the cashier who's stationed there. There are cameras above, and if they're watching you for other reasons, they might catch you that way. But for the most part, they are counting on you being afraid of being seen stealing. Just saying.
Maybe they just think you look shifty. They always ask me for my receipt on the way out, and I'm always like, for fuck's sake.
We only get asked for receipts typically around Christmas time. And then it's anything that's not bagged, they're supposed to ask you for your receipt. All right. Seattle Mayor Bruce Harnell's office demanded that the Seattle Police Department hire fewer white men and those with military bearing, according to a memo obtained by the Jason Rantz Show. While the mayor's office initially refused to turn over the document through a public disclosure request, it provided it to Rantz by a confidential source. Talking Trash, thank you so much for becoming a member again. I've been visiting for a year, though. I love you guys. Such an amazing show. Thank you so much. That's very, very kind of you to say. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You'll never go wrong stroking my ego. Just saying. Unless you're a gay dude who's standing a little too close.
A little too close.
Just a note for gay men. I take compliments from you as well. I just need you out of my bubble. If you're a pretty chick and you're doing it in my bubble, I'd be like, I'm married, but I appreciate it. It's not wrong, you know. Just don't get like real close to my face. But if you're a dude who's, you know, hey, you're sexy, I know, but I need you over there. What, is that wrong?
No.
Are we supposed to have different rules for men and women when it comes to getting hit on?
I don't know.
Is it sexist that I won't let men hit on me in my bubble?
Do you want them to hit on you outside of your bubble?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I'm not going to fuck them just because they hit on me. I'm not doing that with women either. I'm a married man. I'm not one of those, oh my God, a gay guy hit on me. I appreciate being appreciated. I'm just saying. I mean, I know I appreciate it, but I'm straight. One of those times, you know, double meaning there. I'm straight. Yeah. I don't mind gay guys telling me I look good. It's happened before. In front of my wife, actually. I'm like, I appreciate that, but I'm married and I'm straight. Thank you. Don't you like being told you're attractive? Is that too egotistical to even be like, yeah, gay guys hit on me? Is that too far?
I don't know.
Gay people, is that okay? There's some gays in the audience. Are you allowed to call them gays, or do I have to say gay people?
I don't know. The linguistics change every week. I can't keep up with this shit.
Is it only offensive to say the gays, or is gays also offensive?
I don't know. Again,
gays.
They keep changing this shit. It used to be perfectly acceptable to say the gays, and then that was unpopular for 5 minutes, and I probably cycled back around.
Gays and the gays in the audience, let me know. Are we allowed to say the gays? Are we allowed to say gays? What way are we supposed to say it? Because I know we're not supposed to say homo. We can still say that. How come we can still say hetero, but we can't say homo?
Because nobody cares about the heteros.
I guess. It just seems a little, lopsided. I mean, if you're not saying it, you're not insulting somebody, right? You're not going, oh, what a homo, right? You're just like the homos. That's not offensive. It's just true. I don't understand this world sometimes. Anyway, I'll see y'all on Rumble from now on. The memo part of is a larger effort to hire fewer white men. May be illegal according to a source. It depends because it's one of those things where affirmative action is not allowed, but they have been allowed to, for diversity's sake, say that like honkies can't, be there because we're homos. No. All right. Ben Dalgetty, a digital strategy lead from the mayor's office, took control of the SPD's marketing efforts. In a mass 2023 memo to SPD human resource staff titled SPD Marketing More and Less, Dalgetty asked for less images and videos of officers who are white, male, and officers with military bearing. In their place, Dalgetty asked for more officers of color, officers of different genders, and officers who are younger. So they want young black gay officers.
Yeah, or women.
All right. Well, lesbian because they don't want men.
Yeah.
Young. How are you going to show that they're lesbian? Do you need them like on the recruiting poster to be licking some puss? Wow.
Maybe.
Don't you think that's going to keep some people away? It might bring some people in for like, hey, what do you got for me?
For all the wrong reasons, yeah.
Yeah. But how do you, do they have to have a rainbow flag painted across their face?
A tattoo would be preferable.
How do they know those guys are not straight? Or are straight, sorry. How do they know that they're straight?
Doesn't matter. They're a little too pasty, if you know what I'm saying.
But yeah, they're asking for, to be, we need the different genders. How do you know that they don't identify as a different? How do you know they're not non-binary? How do you know they're not a woman who likes to have sex with men? Did you see that officer from the UK? I'm just saying. I thought, are you kidding me? They put this in writing. One source told the Jason Ranch show on the condition of anonymity. It shows not only a lack of respect for officers, but a lack of respect for the military. They have no understanding of someone willing to put their lives on the line for their fellow man. They don't have respect. I think it just shows that they don't really care about policing. They care about policing our thought process and being woke. That's what they care about. But it's Seattle, man. Are you shocked by this?
No, not at all.
This is the city that turned over a police station to Antifa.
Yep.
I'm shocked they're even still trying to hire police. Well, I guess the mayor, because he wants his job.
Because everybody's bitching at him.
He can still get reelected, and he's got to show he's doing something about crime. Look, I hired lesbians. Well, good for you. Can they fight crime? Can they actually arrest somebody? It's amazing watching those videos where suspects get away from women cops. Sorry, I had a burp there.
Yeah. Sorry, women aren't very good at being cops. They always have to act hyper masculine, and most of the time they can't physically do the job. So,
yeah, I'm sure there's a couple out there because #not all. There's always some butch lesbian. But when it comes to actually arresting these guys, you have to count on the perp being like, all right, you caught me. Because every time you've seen them with any kind of wrestling going on, they get away.
Yeah.
Maybe if they shot more.
Oh, man, if you're going to get shot, it's probably by a chick cop. Remember that one that mistook her pistol for a taser?
Yeah.
Handy girl brains.
I still say that that chick, she did not deserve to go to prison like that. Breaking Portland
jury guy was fighting with her, so.
Portland jury finds Antifa militants not liable in anti-no attack. Defense attorney declares, I am Antifa. We talked about this briefly yesterday. This freak and this fat bitch are people who are on camera beating on Andy No. And of course, the judges or the jury comes back, nah. You know why? Because this was in Portland, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The jury has reached a verdict in the trial of investigative journalist Andy No versus Rose City Antifa and its alleged affiliated members, in which they found both defendants, John Colin Hacker and Elizabeth Renee Richer, not liable for the civil case brought against them because they're retarded.
It had nothing to do with the jury being doxxed and having threats made against them.
No, not at all.
Nothing. No.
No filed a complaint in Portland, Oregon in 2020, claiming assault and other injuries over alleged acts of violence carried out by the members of Antifa, which began in 2019. Andy No cannot show his face near an Antifa rally or even in Portland, because if somebody spots him, they will blast out where he's at and a whole bunch of people will come to beat his ass.
Yep.
Defendants John Colin Hacker, who's a piece of shit, and Elizabeth Renee Richer, I don't know as much about her, have been accused by senior editor of Post Millennial Andy No of assault, battery, and intentional infliction of emotional distress, which was argued before a civil jury for more than a week at the Multnomah County Courthouse. Defendants Hacker and Richer, who allegedly work as Antifa doxers. Yeah, I wonder why the jury found for him. Which, after identifying No, has led to a series of physical beatings on May 28th, 2021, were found by the jury on Tuesday not liable for all of these claims. Evidence provided during the trial, along with testimony given by both defendants, asserts no claims in the complaint. It's on video. Especially Burn Boy there. Is it okay for me to call him that? He's a piece of shit.
Well, it's Antifa, so yeah, I got no issue with it.
Yeah. Where defendants Hacker and Richer allegedly worked. Oh, I read that part. During closing statements, defense lawyer Michelle Burrows told the jurors that not only does she self-identify as both a progressive and anti-fascist, she strongly declared, "I am Antifa," and insisted upon making herself an "I am Antifa" t-shirt, which she said she'd
that
wear
won't intimidate the jury at all.
Right, which she said she'd wear after the trial. Despite Antifa's significant recorded history of violence, she told the jury that Antifa's unfavorable reputation is fuck off. Antifa's unfavorable reputation is untrue and depicted the organization's military group as activists fighting for social justice and civil rights. Yeah. I just want to repeat again, Joseph Stalin called himself an anti-fascist. You can look that up. That's 100% true. However, she argued before the jurors, Ms. Burrow admitted that the black-clad people that had physically beaten No were, in fact, terrorists. You mean these two idiots?
No, they were different terrorists.
The defense attorney went on to say that journalist Andy No has dirty hands. She indicated that No is a doxer. He is not a doxer. He puts out their criminal fucking records, which are public information. That's not doxing. As well, because he uploads publicly available mugshots of Antifa-affiliated individuals that have committed crimes on his Twitter account, which has over 1 million followers. That's not doxing. In addition, the defense lawyer said that since the U.S. has an unregulated internet, No needs to take responsibility for the words he says on the internet, and added that his conduct has not been pristine. She also attacked No's credibility as a journalist, despite providing the jury with no evidence of the allegations that would have discredited him, other than saying he's a liar that provides half-truths. Furthermore, Burrows claimed that No's reporting has created a rage machine that has generated so much revenue for Mr. No. I mean, look, he's made a lot of money off this yak.
Well, yeah, but they also if they hadn't beat him up, he probably wouldn't have.
Yeah, if they'd ignored him, he wouldn't have. You know why they can't ignore him? Because he was recording what they were doing and putting it online.
Yeah, and they were committing criminal acts, so makes sense.
Even people on their own side, we saw this during the 2020 riots. They would start beating up their own people for recording stuff. These people are shitbags, and their problem isn't with Andy No. Their problem was with being exposed for the shitbags that they are.
Oh, yeah, that's horrible. How dare he expose them?
We're just against fascists. One, your behavior is very fascistic. And two, you're just a violent piece of shit. And this is why when people, they get mad, because I still think at least what the Proud Boys were doing for a while was fine. Proud Boys showing up to stand against these assholes, I didn't have a problem with. Because these are the kind of assholes that need somebody to stand up to them, and nobody else was, including the police departments in these different cities.
Oh, you want the cops to do their job?
And if they're going to allow these assholes to go out there and physically assault people, including an old man who just went to the bathroom.
Yeah, but he was old and he went all bathroomy.
Old guy needs to go to the bathroom. He's on the Antifa side of the sidewalk during one of these protests. He goes across the street because that's where the bathroom is. It also happens to be where the counter protesters are. He comes out and they're like, he's with them, and beat this old man's ass. That's who the anti-fascists are. Old man had to pee, so they beat him up. Anyway, after announcing
her lesson,
yeah, I guess hold it in next time. Before closing statements, Judge fuck you, Sina Plazai informed the court that the trial jurors have raised concerns about being doxxed and claimed that people have been trying to find out their identities. The judge then enacted even stricter safety measures than what had already been ordered for the trial. Yeah, Miss Antifa has their information. The lawyer has their information.
Hate fact.
The judge then enacted, after announcing her retirement and that this would be her last trial, Burroughs told the juror that she will remember each one of their faces. She should be jailed for intimidating a jury. Jury intimidation is a crime.
Not in Portland, apparently.
Burroughs did not take the time to provide evidence as to why the two defendants should be free from charges, but rather used the time to defend anti-fascism and attack No's credibility as a journalist. The attorney for Andy No, Dorothy Yamamoto, thank you for having a name I can pronounce, had a different approach in her closing statements. Yamamoto went through each charge levied against the defendants, Hacker and Richer, and provided the jury with substantial evidence relating to each charge and why the defendant should receive each charge pertaining to the assault, battery, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Fuck it. Get away with jury tampering. This is a fucking lawyer threatening them. I am Antifa and I'm quitting and I will remember your faces. For real?
No, it's totally innocent, Monkey. I mean, she's just like, I'm going to remember each one of your faces because I am Antifa. And that's not a threat when we do it. It's only a threat when somebody cares.
The jurors probably would have been attacked if they ruled in Andy's favor. They absolutely would have been.
Well, there were people disrupting this trial. They had to clear the courtroom several times. Eventually, the judge just said nobody in the gallery.
The trial was only expected to last 3 days, and it went on for 5 because of goofy shit like that.
Yeah.
These guys are obviously guilty, period. For anybody like, reasonable doubt. Nah, fuck you. That matters when you're on the jury. If you're out in the real world and you see the evidence, I mean, this motherfucker is guilty. Especially Burn Boy there. I mean, they have him on camera assaulting him.
Yeah.
They know that he was tweeting out like, Andy knows here. The motherfucker should, and he should be going to jail for that shit.
Prosecuting, that's a lot of work.
But we have Mike Schmidt out there who's not going to prosecute Antifa because he's a douchebag.
Yeah. Well, he's friends with members of Antifa, remember?
Yeah. You guys in Portland, fucking move. Fucking move. What's keeping you there? Crime? Is it not high enough? Don't worry, it'll get there. Be careful. Make sure you don't wear a red hat of any sort. Hope you're not like a Cardinals fan. Anyhow, that just pisses me off, Jack, because this one's more of a slam dunk than the Johnny Depp case.
Yeah. It's on video.
They got away with intimidating the jury. That bitch should be on federal charges for that.
Nah, Garland's probably cool with it.
Jesus fucking Christ, man. All right. Wow. This one's similar to that other one.
Mm-hmm.
Young chef 20 is fired for checking her phone for 4 hours during her shift, but she says her boss is wrong for not telling her to do more work. Oh my God. That's wonderful. You know what? I'm on her side now. That is the best. Hey, you didn't tell me to work more. You should have told her to work more, man. That's your fault.
That's not his job. His job is to like do other stuff. She's supposed to be doing her job.
Part of his job is to oversee her.
Well, you can't just take her phone and throw it in a fryer. They get bent out of shape about that.
All he had to do was tell her to work more. That's what he didn't tell her to do more work.
Yeah, I'm sure he did that a few times, but at what point are you just like, you're fired, get out?
A chef secretly filmed the moment she was sacked over the worst day of her, the worst day of work her boss had ever seen. As she claimed she'd been on her phone. Oh, she claimed she'd been on her phone. So this isn't even like the boss saying it. All right. Sorry, no, it is after he claimed. I need to learn to read. Instead of working, Sophie. I know that's Alcock, but I'm going to say Alcock, or it's Alcock, but I'm going to say Alcock. Just for the fun of it. Miss Alcock was so furious about being fired after just 2 weeks that she filmed herself informing her former boss at Toast in Withington, Manchestershire, that she told everyone not to visit so that his business suffers. The 20-year-old claims that she went to work on July 6th and told cafe owner Matt that she may be distracted because she was receiving her degree results. You're at work. Put that off until you're done.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be distracting if you didn't check it every 2 minutes.
It's his fault. He hired her with that in her fucking nose.
Well, I mean, it may have spread out some of the ugly. I don't know.
I'm sorry, man. You hire somebody like that, you deserve bad work. And look, I know not all of you who have stupid shit in your nose are bad workers, but it's one of those warning signs. There's not always smoke there's not always fire where there's smoke, but you probably shouldn't go digging around in it.
Yeah, there is always boogers on those things, though.
The history student says the next day she heard a rumor from another employee that she was getting sacked because of her attitude. After emailing Matt to find out if the rumor was true, he replied to inform her she was no longer required to work at Toast. All right. However, Sophie claims her phone shows she was only on her phone for 2 hours and 50 minutes that day, and some of that had been before and after her shift. While she admits she was on her phone a lot during work, she says it was only for around an hour throughout her 9-hour shift. They're paying.
You're still stealing from the company.
Yes, that's stealing time. You are paid for 9 hours. You should be working for 9 hours. Young people and some of you older people, you actually can wait to look at your phone until you have time to look at your phone. Jack, when I was still working, you weren't allowed to have your phone, and slowly everybody's like, all right, fuck it, let them have their phones. I don't understand that.
I don't either. We used to get in massive trouble if you were on your cell phone.
Yeah. And now you go to Walmart these days and everybody has their fucking phone out. Like, why isn't that shelf stocked, fucker?
Yeah, they look at you like you're an inconvenience because you're distracting them from their addiction. I mean, their cell phone time.
Yeah. Put your fucking phone away. You got kids and you want to keep a phone on you in case of emergency? Fine. But it buzzes or something and you look and it's not an emergency, put it back in your pocket and get back to what you're doing. That's half a second, Jack.
Yeah, instead they're like, oh, I got to respond to this text. Hold on. One of my friends is like trying to hook me up with some good weed or something.
She admits she was an hour there we are. And also took 2 10-minute breaks to eat and check to see if her results had been announced. They only gave you 2 10-minute breaks in a 9-hour shift. That's kind of fucked up.
That's about average. There's probably a half-hour lunch in there too.
Well, she didn't mention the lunch. I feel like she would have.
She's kind of dumb, dude. So,
despite admitting that her shift had been not perfect and she could have performed better, the student says her exam results were extenuating circumstances. No, they weren't.
You're not here to baby cry in a burning building and you're waiting on a search warrant. Shut up.
You literally, those results, even if they came in right at the beginning of your shift, would not have changed by the end of your shift.
You don't know that, monkey.
I'm fairly certain I do.
No, it could have been, the teacher was like, you know what? Fuck that bitch. I'm changing her grade.
Comrade Kitty says, me listening to Monkey on my phone at work. Look, there are some jobs where I don't think it's an issue. But if you're in a customer-facing job, no fucking way.
And listening to this show is important.
Yes, this is an extenuating circumstance.
It's way more important than school results.
You should always be listening to us. Believe me, there's enough content to do that.
Make sure you're liking this stream and subscribing.
Donating if you can. I need one of those donating bars. It seems to make people donate more. That says, I need this much money tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know what should I put on there? Like $50 million?
No, you make it achievable. So people
that's
will try
achievable.
To reach the goal. Nobody's going to give either of us anywhere near that much money.
You didn't know, nobody, but some people together might.
I think like $100 might be a little bit more in line with our.
No, 50 million. I'm not a cheap hoe, man. I'm a hoe, but not a cheap hoe.
Well, that's where we're down for it.
Look, you set it at 50 million and you only get 200. That's better than setting it at 100 and only getting 100.
You know what? I'm realistic. I'm only going to get 100.
Reach I'm for lucky. The stars. If you only land on a mountain, you're still higher than you were.
I don't know if that's applicable here.
I think it is.
There's achievable and then there's delusional.
I feel like 50 million is the least that I'm worth.
I maybe over a lifetime, but
no, each show.
Oh, okay.
Each show. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, go big, right?
Go big or go home. That's right. And I'm already home, so I'm going big.
Oh, I guess that's I can't really defeat the logic there. So,
by the way, guys, on YouTube, you know how they have that little podcast thing? You can listen to these as a podcast now because all you had to do was click a button. So I clicked the fucking button.
Oh, nice.
So if you prefer the podcast thing, there you go. Dollars, yes, dollars, and not like Mexican dollars, like real dollars. Just saying. Set it at 10K. If they reach it, you won't sing. No, here's the problem, Backscan. If I don't sing, there's people who get mad. I can't win on the singing thing, so I'm just embracing the singing. Anyhow, where were we?
I don't know. Thank you. Travis Gardner says, I listen to y'all while driving around at work. See, that's a good way to do it.
Sure, yeah. Like I said, just don't do it if you're in a one. We swear a lot. You probably shouldn't have that in a customer-facing business. Maybe if you work at a construction company and people come in to hire you and they should expect that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They're like otherwise amateurs. Yeah. If you're in the Navy and they let you have it out, that's probably all right. But otherwise, you probably shouldn't have us around, that kind of stuff. If you're a teacher, actually, you probably should let your students listen to this.
Yeah, so that you don't touch them.
Yeah, but get somebody who can bleep out the bad words.
Thank you, Keldrick. I would actively donate more to Jack and less to Monkey, just so Monkey has a harder time matching his goal, reaching his goal. That's mean.
If you weren't donating to me anyway, that doesn't actually hurt me. I get what you were going for there, but yeah, that doesn't hurt me. It helps Jack, so by all means.
Yeah, Jack likes money.
I want 50 million each. I wasn't like combining it. I'm not giving you my 50 million.
It's your own 50 million. You were.
Anyway, where are we?
I have no idea. We drifted.
Oh, again. Here it is. She argues her former boss could have communicated to her that he wanted her to do more work and not sack her. The recording shows her threatening that most of the people she has served are friends who will no longer be coming to this business, before she's saying she really hopes they suffer.
That's a good way to get your job back, by the way. Like, they're not going to bow to public pressure now.
You were doing a shitty job by your own admittance, and now you want them to suffer more. Pumpkin Trucker, thank you so much. How about Aussie dollars? Touche. Thank you so very much. Appreciate it. Look, I would take 50 million Aussie dollars, probably even 50 million Canadian loonies or whatever the fuck they have up there. Because the exchange rate isn't that bad, Jack.
Yeah, it's like half.
And for our English folk, the actual British people, 45 million I'm fine with because of the exchange rate. I'm just saying. Fuck this bitch, man. She is an entitled shithead who could not put her phone down. She is what's wrong with so many young people today. Hashtag not all. I know there's still hard workers out there, and good for them and their parents for raising them that way. But so many of these entitled little shits, take their fucking phones from them.
Yeah. I've worked a couple of jobs where you had to put your phone in a locker or in a basket, and yeah, you just couldn't have it with you while you were working.
We were not allowed to have ours on the floor, and I think that's the smart way to be.
Yeah.
Because it's tempting.
It's too tempting.
Yeah. I'll just check it real fast.
Yeah. And then 10 minutes later, like, I should probably do something.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's customers. Real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato. I do data entry, and even when I have to drive to do a delivery, I got hands-free on my work car, so I can listen to everything completely legally. That's the way to do it.
That's right. I saw a clip from like Inside Edition, I think it was. It was the one I was telling you about with the 16-year-old who stabbed her daddy because he didn't want her dating the psycho that she ended up killing her daddy with.
Yeah.
I feel like Dad was right there.
Yeah, he kind of nailed it in one, didn't he?
But the reporter who's reporting on it, he's driving around talking to the camera that's in the passenger seat, and he keeps turning and looking at the camera.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should fire him. You should not be paying attention to anything other than the fucking road when you're driving. Anyway.
That foodie beauty, when she would drive around wherever she was in Canada at the time, she would constantly be reading chat on her phone while she's
Jesus
driving.
Christ.
I was like, you're gonna kill somebody.
Yep.
That's insane.
Did you guys talk about Obama's dreams? We did not. I'm not even sure what that's in reference to.
He apparently had some homosexual dreams.
Oh, well, good for him. Is that why he
Yeah,
married Michelle?
It's in a book, a biography this guy did, who's famous biographer.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. I didn't see about the homosexual part, but I did see, because in that book he talks about why. In his book, he talks about why he broke up with the white girl he used to date, and he says it was because of some disagreement over civil rights. And this guy went and talked to her, and she tells a whole different story about why they broke up. Basically, he's a twat.
Yeah.
So
and he was thinking about dudes apparently. So
that would make a lot of sense. And so he found Michelle, and they adopted some kids. Italian man crushed to death by falling wheels of cheese. What a way to go!
Well, it was a cheesy way to die. I've been saving that joke for 2 days.
That's a very good joke. The owner of a cheese factory in northern Italy has died after he was crushed after thousands of his cheese wheels fell on him. Fuck. Instead of being stoned to death, he got cheesed to death.
Yeah.
Giacomo Ciparani, whatever, 74, a local producer of Grana Padano, a Parmesan-style hard cheese that is popular in Italy, was in his warehouse near Bergamo on... I don't care about the names of these. Just give me a better name. Give me one I can read. On Smith Street, Sunday evening, tending to 15,000 cheese wheels that were aging. All of a sudden... Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
All of a sudden, a 30-foot shelf holding the wheels, which weigh about 20 kilograms or about 44 pounds, gave way. That created a domino effect that sent the massive wheels flying and ultimately burying their maker. Fuck.
He had a hankering for a hunk of cheese. Frosted said how any good Italian would want to go. To be fair, any good Italian would want to be in a rising vat of spaghetti sauce while wheels of cheese are falling down on him, and his only attempt is to make a lasso out of pasta. That's how a real Italian would want to go out.
Now, do they just put the cheese back up and it's like Giacomo cheese now? Because it's got specks of him in it?
I don't know. It's limited edition now.
It's like blue cheese, but red cheese. Frosted Glass, thank you. People nearby were injured by debris. Stop it. Bartolo Gism, a friend and neighbor of the victim, said the dead dude and his son were at the warehouse after a machine that cleans the cheese wheels from mold sent an alarm signal. Somebody killed this man.
Yeah, this sounds like a murder, like a really fucked up, like Sunday movie kind of thing. I wonder if Diabolique did this. No, I think Bartolo did it because that is an Italian sounding name, like pure Italian.
I think his son did it. The alarm goes off. Dad, hey, Dad, go check on the wheels over there. And suddenly that one falls and kills him. I think the son did it. The son wanted his cheese factory.
Oh,
I'm telling you. The machines clean and rotate the wheels, so when they find them even slightly out of place, they send a warning. One of the Italian people said it's a common problem, so the dead guy and his son went there to adjust the wheels. Well, I mean, technically they did.
No, he was rotating the wheels.
Thank you, Mighty Balzac. Mighty Balzac, thank you. I hate cheese puns. They tend to grate. Fair enough.
I knew this article would get a lot of hilarity value. Thank you, Keldrick. Death by cheese sounds like a Gouda way to die.
The dead guy went to fix the problem with his son. The father restarted the machine. The kid left the warehouse, and seconds later, everything fell on him. I'm telling you, man, this is a murder.
It sounds like one, doesn't it?
This is a straight up murder. He got cheesed to death by his son, so his son could take it over because his son has this Italian mistress who won't get with him until he's actually rich and wants to kill off daddy so she can get diamonds, cheese diamonds, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But that's what happened. Ooh, it's probably his stepmom too. I bet he's trying to bang his stepmom.
Yeah, and they were doing it for the insurance and the cheese fortune.
Yep.
This sounds like an episode of Psych. I don't know if you ever saw that show.
I did one time.
Yeah, it sounds like an episode of that because it's just such a goofy premise.
I feel like it's too coincidental that everything falls. I was already on that train until they told me, his son left, and it was right as he leaves, everything falls. Come on.
Yeah, that's very convenient timing for the boy.
That dude killed his dad.
Or so there's a cheese mafia out there. What if there's a cheese mafia?
No, because they would have taken out both of them.
No, you don't want to get collateral damage like that. Then you might start a war. Let's see.
I'm telling you that business is worth some money. It is. It's they're making that much cheese for a reason.
You think they were smuggling heroin in there?
No, I think that the young man was trying to bang his stepmom. I've seen these kind of movies. I know what happened here. And the thing is, she's not even really interested in him. She's banging like a pool boy or something. She just wants that money. And he gonna die next. Watch. He gonna suffocate on some cheese.
Yeah, he'll have a wedge stuck in his throat.
Yep. I'm telling you. Calling it right now. I called it right with the fish tank lady, and I'm calling it right on this. That dude killed his daddy so he could bang his stepmama.
Well, it is Italy, so that is a pretty reasonable suspicion. Although I feel like we should work satanic cults in there somehow. They seem to be obsessed with that.
I mean, maybe.
And how can we blame Foxy Noxy?
Maybe his dad was in a satanic cult, and so they're like, it's good for the world too, because we get Satan boy out of here.
Oh no. See, the son was banging the stepmom, and the stepmom is a high priestess in a satanic cult and cast a spell on him.
Thank you, Shio, who says, so let me get this straight. Diane Abbott can cheer on some immigrants drowning trying to get to the UK, but a teen can't call a lesbian a lesbian? Got it. Also, your hair's gay, monk. Come after me, England. Fair enough. Jack, we're gonna skip the last one because we are 2.5 hours. I haven't done a game stream in like 2 days, and I've done like one in 5 days, so I need to get a game stream done. And I probably should eat it sometime.
Oh, you'd like that?
Actually, I'm not hungry. I just haven't really eaten. It's been like 2 days since I ate anything real, so
I'm gonna work on videos.
I mean, technically I will be, because I'm gonna be doing a game stream. But guys, thanks for joining us. Thank you so very much for all the donations. You guys are awesome. Wasn't 50 million, but maybe tomorrow. Jack, anything you want to show?
Not today. I got nothing. Maybe tomorrow.
Ranting Monkey Games right here on the YouTubes, ladies and gentlemen. Ranting Monkey Games. Give me half an hour, maybe an hour. Depends on what I decide to eat, how ambitious I get in the kitchen. Like I said, I'm feeling pretty decent today, Jack, so I might actually like make a meal kind of thing. We'll see what happens. But have an hour to an hour-ish over on Ranting Monkey Games right here on the YouTubes. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Jack, a pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here.
Everyone, have a wonderful night. We'll see y'all next time. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
If you're at work right now, you should be listening to us. If you're doing anything else, turn it off and listen to us. Fuckers. My penis. I haven't sung about my penis in a while. I'm going to sing until something rhymes, which is really not going well. I don't know if while and well rhyme, but this song is over. It's about time.